what God got going on all together, right? And what it boils down to is that these things that God has us doing today here on this earth right now, right, is a shadow of things to come in the future, right? That's what the ceremonial laws are pointing towards, right? Once again, we went over the 7th month, these different days. These are not days that we are just following for vain's sake, right? We went over, we talked about how they did Labor Day earlier this month, right? And they have these other holidays, right? Those other holidays that man follow, they have roots, or there's meanings behind it. The majority of the masses, they're not fully aware of the meaning of majority of the things. Like I always ask people, when it comes to Christmas, for example, I ask people, why do you have a Christmas tree in your house, right? And 9 times out of 10, people do not have an answer. They don't understand why they have a Christmas tree in their house during December 25th, right? But there's a reason why there's Christmas trees in majority of people's houses around the same time of the year every time, right? And it's pointing towards a false god. It's pointing towards traditions that man has made up, right? But the Bible, God has his days specifically, like we went over with the 7th month, that's pointing towards him, or pointing towards his plans, right? So we're going to start off here. Let's go to Colossians. And what it really boils down to, it really ties in with everything that we're doing here today, right? Like I just was out back talking to Brother Nate, and he was just even explaining to me how even us keeping the commandments, yeah, we keep the commandments for here and now, most definitely, right? We're supposed to love our neighbors today, but why are we doing that for? What is the main purpose? Of course, the purpose is we should be treating people the correct way, but even further, showing that it's a shadow of things to come is really showing if we're going to be able to coexist in God's kingdom, right? All this stuff is pointing towards God's kingdom. That's why when we pray, we say, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Our whole thing is just trying to show God, look, we are good, we are approved, we should be okay to be able to dwell in your kingdom. And our actions today is showing him whether or not we're going to be acceptable to be able to enter into his kingdom, right? If you don't have on the correct, just like you try to go into a party or a club, I know you guys are young, sometimes you have to have specific clothing. If you don't have these certain type of clothing on, they're not going to let you into the party, right? But God is not going to let you into his party, aka his kingdom, if you don't have on the correct garments, clean garments, right? If you haven't been treating people properly, if you haven't been keeping the ceremonial laws, right? Showing God that you are aware of his plan and you're fitting in alignment with his plan, right? If you're someone that's not going to be able to fit into his plan, he's not going to deal with you. You can't get in. You're going to be on the outside looking in. But once again, let's take a look at this. Colossians 2. And that's the wonderful thing about the Bible.